Okay, topic number 3 in 7th class is all about angles, vinkler in Danish. Now I'm just going to start off by demonstrating how you actually measure an angle, because some people do get to 7th class without knowing how to do that. So you put the center of the angle measurer on the angle you want to measure. Yep. And one of the lines of the angle, one of the lines that make up the angle, has to be on 0 on the angle measurer, and then you just count round 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees. That one's 48 degrees. Next one. So put the center of the angle measurer on the angle, and then 0 on one of the lines, and then count round 10, 20, 30. That one's 39. Finally, the one at the top, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and that one's 93. So the three angles, 39, 93, 48 degrees, all add up to 180 degrees. And the angles inside a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So you can write that down. Now a couple of four-sided shapes. Just measure the angles. 100 degrees, 63 degrees, 119 degrees, 78 degrees. They add up to 360 degrees. Now let's try the other shape. 41 degrees, 31 degrees. The big one, 249 degrees on the inside, and 39 degrees makes 360 degrees. And the angles inside any four-sided shape, proper mathematical word for that is quadrilateral, always add up to 360 degrees. So write that down. Now, here's another way we can look at that. So we already know that the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. If we take our four-sided shape, quadrilateral, we can draw a line from a point here across to split it into two triangles. And two triangles makes 2 times 180 degrees, which is 360 degrees. So that's another way of figuring out that the angles in a four-sided shape add up to 360 degrees. So you can write all of that down. Now here's a similar idea but with a five-sided shape. So again, I've taken a point on the five-sided shape and drawn lines across to make triangles on the other corners. I can make 3 triangles like that. So 3 times 180 degrees makes 540 degrees. So a pentagon always adds up to 540 degrees. Write that down. Once again, a six-sided shape, a hexagon, you can split that into 4 triangles. So starting from one point and drawing lines across the shape to make triangles, you can make 4 triangles. 4 times 180 is 720. So the angles in a hexagon, 6 sides, add up to 720. Write that down. Now, here's a summary of all of that. A 3-sided shape is 1 triangle. A 4-sided shape, you can split it into 2 triangles. That makes 360 degrees. A 5-sided shape, you can split it into 3 triangles, and that makes 540 degrees. 3 times 180. and the number of triangles you can split it into is always 2 less than the number of sides you start with. So if we had a 10-sided shape, you could split it into 8 triangles, and then 8 times 180, 1440. So the number of degrees in a 10-sided shape would be 1440. Now, if you take that a bit further, I'm going to have a shape with n sides. That n just stands for a number, could be any number. But if the number of sides is n, then the number of triangles you can split it into is always 2 less. So that would be n minus 2. And then the number of degrees that would make would be 180 times that, because it's 180 degrees for each triangle. So 180 times n minus 2. So write that down. So what does that mean? It gives us a formula. 180 times n minus 2 is a formula that can be used to work out the number of degrees in any shape with any number of sides. So if we've got a 10-sided shape, a 10-sided polygon, which is called a decagon, then instead of n we would put 10, and we would just work that out with 10 in the formula where n is. So the number of degrees in a 10-sided shape would be 180 times 10 minus 2, which is 180 times 8, which is 1440. So the number of degrees in a 10-sided shape adds up to 1440. So write that down, and then there should be some practice questions for you.